Hi everyone. Today we are going to see and talking about a little bit what you are going to see and what you are going to learn on this course. You're going to see features about the Oracle SOA Suite 12c, and also I'm going to tell you why the companies need a toolkit like Oracle SOA Suite 12c. The answer is because this toolkit, this product of, from Oracle, they build APIs and connect with another platforms like SAP, like Salesforce. Also, they be able to connect to database. They can build a process file, transform it to another protocol, transform, for example, HTTP to HTTPS. Also, they able to connect with queues. So they build a very fast APIs. They make to a catalog of this API. They control this version. So this tool is to facilitate the companies build your structure, build your connect your company with another external partners, and they do this very fast and very easy. For example, if you're going to use Java or another language, you need to code a lot of lines to build a simple API. And with this platform Oracle SOA Suite, you can build an API just with drag and drops components on the flow. And after that, the API is able to use, to expose, or to consume in a couple of minutes. This is the reason why every company around the world buy this product, put inside your company to make easy to use to consumer APIs, to expose APIs, protect your APIs with security also. And this is the reason every company use like a Oracle Suite or others tools to facilitate this integration between older platforms. You're going to talking about, of course, what is Oracle Service Bus and what is Oracle Suite in the case Beeple. Also, you're going to see how create APIs, configure, deploy, and then test it. Let's start before you enter on the Oracle Service Bus and Beeple. Let's talking about a roadmap of the Oracle product. So the Oracle Suite roadmap started in 2004 when the Beeple acquisition is now the strategic workflow engine of Oracle. Then in July in 2009, start with this other version like a 11G. 11G start using other companies like connection with B2B. We start with this SOA composite application. This is like the SCA BAN. The BAN is like a dashboard to see your KPIs. And to November 2009, also they start with using a SOA Composer, roles, DVM, Spring, other feature. In April 2010, they start to use the composite partition. Then January 10, 2011, they start to use the Beeple 2.0, single JVM dev install, other feature, and another improvement in Beeple assign. In February 2012, they start also use a grid link, hack memory footprint, reduction, database footprint, load times optimization. So after 2030, they start the new version, the product 12c, developer productivity, industrial SOA, mark hard things simple. So here in 2019, the last version 12.2.1.4, at this version we're going to use. So let's now talking about Oracle Service Bus. In a simple word, you have your client or external user like mobile or web apps, something like that, they send the message to this proxy, this middleware platform called Oracle Service Bus, and they wrote for the destination as is the response for receiving this message. In this case, maybe you have a two or three service behind the proxy, but for your customer, your client, they just see one connection. And inside the proxy, they wrote what the message is responsible to send, or who is the responsible to receive this message, who is the destination to send this message. The proxy wrote for this service. In a simple word, this is the service Oracle Service Bus, a proxy service to route behind a lot of system, but your customer just see one point. If I click here and open what we have inside the proxy, you're going to see something more detailed. For example, your client send a message, but this message maybe is a file, maybe is a FTP, maybe is a HTTP or email. So inside here, they're going to bind this protocol receive inside this pipeline. This pipeline is going to transform the original protocol to the protocol you need to send this message. So it maybe you're going to use callout, publish, or route, and going to bind this service using this transport protocol. Maybe the final destination use a SOAP, but the original message is coming from an email. The proxy is going to transform this information, this protocol, uh, the protocol is defined by the service behind here. But your customer saying this original maybe an email. When this message comes inside the Oracle Service Bus, the proxy transforms this message to a text or to a XML. Is depend of the routing going to send which destination they need to send. They need to understand this. If this destination to send, for example, the service one, they need to convert this message to a SOAP and then send the message to the destination, final destination. This is the Oracle Service Bus means. Now let's talk about workflow suite. When you're talking about suite and SOA, is the case people. The people is a process execution language, or in other words, is a process manager. The people are going to orchestration the process about the business. For example, you have process 1, process 2, process 3 and 4. The BPO manager is going to be responsible to orchestration between this process, a specific rule of your business. And then after orchestration and make this process on the order, they completed the process and send to the customer the final message. If you want to see where is the Oracle bus entering on this flow, the Oracle bus enter on the top of the orchestration. Here is the service bus, is a mediator. If you're talking about internet and apps, the internet and apps start here. They call to the service bus proxy. The service bus proxy send this message to the orchestration, and the orchestration here is responsible to send the process as responsible to send. And then they send the message back to message call back to service bus, and service bus send the message to the customer. When you are call, for example, when you're telling about let's see something on Beeple or in Oracle SOA, we're talking about this specific part. When you're talking about OSB, oh, you need to create a proxy, we need to create something in OSB, is this part we are talking about. And then when you're talking about consumer or provide some API, some service, we are talking about in this part, because on the internet is going to will see you're going to will be the consumer, because the internet or mobile app is going to use your API from the service bus. They just need to know about this API. Behind this API, this orchestration is not necessary to know. This is a private information here. Or maybe going to be a provide. For example, you're going to service bus to use some APIs from internet, for example, to call a zip code or something like that. So this is the name you're going to use during this course. So see you in the next class, and then you're going to see how it's work. Thanks.